Good morning, everyone. It is now 10 a.m. Eastern, so we'll begin this meeting of the North American Numbering Council. My name is Christy Schumann. I am the designated federal officer of the NANC, and I thank you all for joining us today. Today's meeting is hybrid, meaning both in person and online. We welcome members joining us here at the FCC headquarters today, and also those on Microsoft Teams. Chairwoman Charles, I now turn the meeting over to you.
Of our council members here at the FCC headquarters. Christy, I'm getting
Lisa
feedback.
Jill Freeman with bandwidth
is now joining.
Okay, hold on one second and we'll try to get it straightened out. Thanks. Hold on.
Okay. We have some, I'm gonna continue, Christy.
Yeah, are you okay now?
I think I am.
Go ahead.
We
then.
have
Thank you.
thank you. We have some interesting reports and presentations on today's agenda, and we'll get to them shortly. This meeting will be hybrid, both in person here in the room and on Microsoft Teams for members who couldn't be here today. We also welcome members of the public here in person and on the live stream available on the FCC's website and on YouTube. Members of the public may submit any questions to the email address livequestions@fcc.gov. Your questions will be read during the public participation portion of the meeting. Before we begin, I will review some ground rules and best practices for council members to ensure we have a smooth and successful meeting. Please keep your microphone muted unless you are speaking. For those of you at FCC headquarters, please raise your hand to be recognized to speak. For those participating remotely, you may use the video function, but it is not required. If you are participating remotely, if you have a question or would like to make a comment during designated discussion times, please use the raise hand feature. Everyone manages their own raise hand feature, so please unclick once you no longer need it. When you are speaking, please identify yourself as we may not recognize your voice. And please remember to use mute when you are finished speaking. Does anyone have any questions before we proceed?
I don't see anything here in the room.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. I am now pleased to welcome Trent Harkenrader, Chief of the Wireline Competition Bureau of the Federal Communications Commission, to make opening remarks. Trent, the floor is yours.
Thank you, and good morning, everybody. It's great to see some familiar faces and some new faces here at the agency. A Friday morning meeting like this is somewhat unusual for us, but I love the energy in the building when we have like real people in here to solve these problems. It's fantastic. So, Chairwoman Charles, Vice Chairwoman Alexander White, thank you. Members of the NANC, thank you for coming in. I'd like to welcome all the new council members, as well as those who are returning from the last charter. This is an exciting opportunity for all of us. I will welcome also everybody who's participating from home, but paying attention from home. Like, we love our internet streaming, and this is another way that we can talk publicly and really broaden the reach of all the important work that we're doing here. For those of you that are new to the council, my name is Trent Harkenrader. I'm the chief of the Wireline Competition Bureau, which in FCC bureaucracy speak means that I oversee a number of staff that handle a lot of important issues at the agency, in particular here, numbering exhaust, illegal robocalling, toll-free numbering, and the 988 hotline number. So all of those issues, as you can tell, are very easy. They have quick solutions. So this is a great opportunity for you all just to kind of check in and check out. I know. Thank you for all this. These are very important issues to the commissioners, to the chairwoman of the agency, and we are so glad that you have decided to devote your time to helping us sort these out. This is an exciting and a busy year for the NANC. There are 4 working groups. 2 of which are completely new, and We're expecting reports from all 4 groups this year. So again, there is going to be work and homework here. And I know that members of the NANC and the working groups, you guys address these critical issues and you help us, and I think this is one of the really great parts about FACAs, is we have this transparency. We have the experts that can come in and help those of us at the agency wrestle with these issues. And it's really, really important that we get your feedback, your ideas, and in a transparent way that benefits everybody. I think these are great opportunities for all of us. So again, thank you. So today the council will hear a report from the toll-free future utilization of numbers, or the T-Fund working group. And I will say that, like, I am a longtime federal bureaucrat. I know acronyms, I know abbreviations. This is one of the best. T-Fund, like, whoever came up with this, congratulations. I didn't realize I was giving you so much credit. So you guys are going to be wrestling with unassigned toll-free 833 numbers. And it's been 4 years, it looks like, since the NANC considered valuation and assignment issues like this. And a lot has changed, particularly as the use of numbers continues to evolve. We look forward to hearing this report. The T-Fund working group is, again, newly formed, and I'd like to thank Allison Blevins, who's one of the co-chairs, and Chris Cantor. He's not here. He's here in spirit, right? Okay. Thank you both for your leadership. It's not just you showing up and providing ideas. It's leading us to where we need to go, and we really appreciate that. We're also going to hear updates from the Secure Telephone Identity Governance Authority, the North American Portability Management, and the Numbering Administration Oversight Working Group. So there's a lot for us to accomplish in this meeting and this year, and thank you so much for everything. I can't stress enough how much we appreciate, and I appreciate everything that you're doing. So have fun today. Thank you.
Thank you, Trent. We appreciate you taking the time to join us this morning. Thank you so much for being here. Now I'll turn the meeting back over to DFO Christy Schumann, who will conduct the roll call. If the members have any new ethics disclosures to make to the group, please respond when called with your name to indicate that you are present, and then make the relevant disclosure at that time. Christy, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Is anyone getting any feedback? No? Okay, we'll go forward then. Okay, for any members who did not do their disclosures at the last meeting, which was the first meeting of the charter, you'll need to do them today. Or if you have any new disclosures that need to be made after your ethics advice from the Office of General Counsel. We'll begin the roll call. Commissioner Karen Charles.
Here.
Vice Chairwoman Bridget Alexander White.
Good morning. I'm here.
10X People.
Here.
800 Response Information Services.
Here, thank you.
Ad Hoc Telecommunications Users Committee.
Susan Gately here.
Alliance for Telecommunications Industry Solutions.
Good morning, this is Jackie Welgemuth.
AT&T. Bandwidth.
Greg Rogers is on for bandwidth.
I'm Lisa Jo Freeman.
Oh, sorry. Both of them are on. Brightspeed.
Yes, I'm here. We're here.
Charter Communications.
Hi, Glenn Klepper here, and I would like to disclose that I'm a member of the STIGA Board of Directors.
Thank you. Comcast Corporation.
Christopher is here.
Competitive Carriers Association.
Angela Simpson is here. Good morning.
Good morning. CTIA.
Amy Bender here online. Good morning.
Great, thank you. Okay. Electronic Privacy Information Center. EPIC, Electronic Privacy Information Center. Google. Do we have anyone from Google? Encompass?
Good morning. This is Chris Shipley representing Encompass. I'm on the phone. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Lumen?
Philip Lindsay here.
Maine Public Utilities Commission?
Michael Johnson here.
National Association of Attorneys General?
This is Tracy Nayer from the North Carolina Department of Justice on behalf of NAG, and I have no further disclosures at this time.
Thank you. National Association of State Utility Consumer Advocates?
Good morning. This is Barrett Sheridan for Nasuka.
New Mexico Public Regulation Commission?
Good morning. This is Brady Tolson.
North Dakota. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, and also Mike Ripperger from New Mexico.
Okay, thank you. North Dakota Public Service Commission?
Morning. This is Victor Shook.
NTCA?
Morning, Timber Ray, alternate for Brian Ford.
Peerless Network? Do we have anybody from Peerless? Public Service Commission of District of Columbia?
Lara Howley Walt from DCPSC.
Cinch Voice?
Here.
SIP Forum?
Rich Shockey, nothing to disclose.
Okay, thank you. TDS Telecommunications?
Good morning. This is Paula Jetlo.
Telnix?
David Kasem here. Good morning.
T-Mobile?
Yeah, this is Scott Frymuth as alternate for Rosemary Leist.
Okay, thank you. US Telecom?
Josh Berkey, nothing to disclose.
Verizon?
Dana Crandall here.
Vonage?
Hi, this is Michael Ortega with Vonage, and I do have a disclosure to make on behalf of myself, Colin Brown, and Vonage. And as required by the FCC on February 6, 2024 in DA 24-104, the FCC extended iConnective's contract as a local number portability administrator and further required that Vonage disclose its relationship with iConnective. In July 2022, Vonage Holdings Corp. Was acquired by subsidiaries of Ericsson, which is an 83% owner of iConnective. Also in that order, the FCC required Vonage to recuse itself from participating in any NANC matter that involves or impacts iConnective as the local number portability administrator or any other local number portability administration matter. Vonage and its representatives confirmed that they will recuse themselves when such matters are before NANC. Thank you.
Thank you. And we have two non-voting members, iConnective
Hi, this is Kathy McMahon with iConnective.
and Somos.
Joel Bernstein with Somos.
Oh, I'm sorry, somebody online?
Yes, Chris Drake here for iConnective.
Okay, thank you.
I disclose that I serve on the Addis Board of Directors, that I'm an advisor to a cybersecurity startup, that I'm an advisor to Pace University cybersecurity curriculum, and I thank Michael for noting our LNPA.
Okay, thank you. Somos?
Joel Bernstein with Somos.
Okay, thank you. That's everybody. All right.
Hey, I apologize to interrupt. This is Chris Frischella from Epic. I was not able to unmute earlier.
Oh, okay. Thanks. We always tend to have some technical difficulties. Did I miss anyone else, or did anyone join late?
Hi, this is Geraldine Schmaltz from the North Dakota Public Service Commission. I'm an alternate.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
Morning, Christy. John Nakamura, alternate, in addition to Lisa Marie Maxon there in the room with you.
Okay.
10X people.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Okay, that concludes the roll call. I'll turn the meeting back to the chair. Thank you.
Thanks, Christy. For our first presentation, we'll hear an update from Phil Lindsay, co-chair of the Numbering Administration Oversight Working Group. Phil, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chairwoman Charles. Again, my name is Philip Lindsay. I am a co-chair. I'm with Lumen Technologies. I am a co-chair for the North American Numbering Council's Number Administration Oversight Working Group. I share my co-chair role with Lara Walt, Public Service Commission of the District of Columbia, and Karen Rippenkroger of T-Mobile. I also have two FCC liaisons, Bill Anderley and Rebecca Macaroni. On the next slide, our area of responsibility is the oversight of number administration. That consists of the contracts of the North American Numbering Plan Administrator, the Billing and Collections Agent, and oversight of the Number Portability Industry Forum and Reassigned Numbers Database Administrator. As a little bit of background, the FCC contract oversight of the North American Numbering Plan Administrator consists of administering the allocation of North American Numbering Plan numbers, or the numbering resources, and the allocation of the 1,000 blocks as well, which is the 1,000 block pooling, and then the routing number administration for pseudo-ANI or P-ANI numbering resources. In addition, the RNDA, or Reassigned Numbers Database Administrator, which is the database that service providers input telephone numbers that have been permanently disconnected that have a chance of being reassigned, and the ability for calling party industry to query that database in order to ensure that they have the appropriate consent to call those telephone numbers. In addition, we have the Billing and Collections Agent, which is provided by Welch LLP, and they provide the financial administration of the financials associated with the funding of the NAMPA as well as the RNDA, and provide monthly reports that track those financials. In addition, we have the Oversight Number Portability Industry Forum. The MPIF is an industry group, provides recommendations related to number portability processes and interface requirements, changes for number portability and the Number Portability Administration Center, or the MPAC, and the associated service management system. The next slide, our contract status for the NAMPA and RNDA. That contract is a single contract with Somos Gov, Inc. It went effective in December 1st of 2020, and its current expiration is November 30th of 2025. Additionally, the BNC agent contract is with Welch LLP. That initial contract date was May 1st of 2018, and that contract has been extended and runs to April 30th of 2024. Since our last NANC meeting, the NAOWG's activity includes all oversight of all those contracts. First is the NAMPA, where we review their monthly reports, including the North American numbering associated with the North American Numbering Plan, the pooling administration, and the routing number administration. We completed the monthly and quarterly evaluations, and in addition to that ongoing function of the NAMPA and R&D, or the RNDA, the NAMPA, or actually it's just the NAMPA, I apologize. The NAMPA contract includes combining of the NAS, or the Number Administration System, and the Pooling Administrative System, and the Routing Number Administration Systems to be a combined system instead of separate systems the way it operates today. The NAMPA anticipates completion of the combined NAS to be October 28th of 2024. And if you'd like more information, I provided a website link there on that presentation. Next, we have the Reassigned Numbers Database Administrator. Again, we've reviewed their monthly reports, and as a little bit of background, that report includes service provider updates that are required to be provided by the 15th of each month, and a little bit of some statistics on that, since it's a fairly new function. Service provider data upload is as of December 2023. We have almost 402 million numbers that are contained within that database, including toll-free. And then we've seen a trend of approximately 20 million disconnected numbers that are reported on a monthly basis. And then of those, within that database, we have about 1,100 service providers that report disconnected numbers into that database. And then we have then completed as the other contract, completed R&DA monthly and quarterly evaluations. And if you'd like more information on that, I've also included websites for access to any additional information you might need on that as well. Next slide, which is the billing and collections agent. We, again, reviewed the BNC agent reports. And since the last NANC meeting, we had the opportunity to review the operational review report and completed an annual evaluation and reviewed, of course, the monthly deliverables and the NAMPA financials, as well as the R&D financials. And again, I've provided a website if folks would like more information on that. For the Number Portability Industry Forum, the MPIF continues to meet on a monthly basis with a focus on general LMP issues, including interface improvements, and then potential porting throughput increases, and then the LSMS capacity planning, best practice updates, and change order reviews. Examples of active issues currently being worked, which are significant to the industry, are the best practice 73, which is related to unauthorized porting processes and procedures, and a referral to the architecture and planning sub-team, Number Portability Administration Center, to local service, and that's actually a typo. It should be Local Service Management System, or LSMS, and the Service Order Administration, and the potential performance throughput enhancements. And then finally, the potential update for enhancements to the MPAC NAMPA reporting processes, procedures related to code and or block reclamation. If you would like more information on that, I've provided contacts, Deb Tucker and Teresa Patton, who are the chairs of the MPIF, and I provided their email addresses, as well as the website, the MPIF website, that has some good information for you. And then finally, we've got the annual performance survey. This was a task that has been historically performed in order to get some feedback. It provides an annual performance survey allowing for the opportunity for users to provide feedback on NAMPA, PA, R&DA, and RNA and RNDA. What's new this year is the RNDA, since it's a fairly new database. So we've put together some surveys. The results will be summarized and provided in the June NANC meeting. The surveys were approved by the Office of Management and Budget, and users include regulators, service providers, and those callers that query the R&D. Each user type receives a survey that's tailored to the user type. So for example, regulators would receive one set of questions pertinent to their position in number administration. Service providers would be provided with another or a different set of questions, survey questions. So it's very much tailored to those that are using the the services that are being provided. So with that, I wanted to go to the next slide and thank all of the NAOWG members for their participation in the efforts that we undertake, and they are invaluable, and it's it's nice to have the feedback and the different perspectives in those groups, and provides good transparency for the efforts that we provide, and providing a better and more usable, efficient number administration system. So, and then finally, I've got a list of dates of the 2024 meetings. We've already had the January and February meetings, and then the remaining meeting dates are fairly tentative, but typically are is kind of the schedule we follow. So and then if you have any questions, you can feel free to contact myself, Lara Walt, or Karen Rippenkroger. We've provided our email addresses there. We're happy to answer any questions after the meeting if you have no questions during the meeting. So with that, I'll take any questions anybody has.
I don't see anything here in the room,
Okay.
and I don't see any hands raised online.
Okay. With that, I'll turn it back over to Chairwoman Charles.
Thank you very much, Phil. Next, we'll hear an update from Teresa Patton, co-chair of the North American Portability Management. Teresa, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Just to start with, I want to provide a reminder that the role of the NAPM LLC is we're responsible for providing oversight and management of the Local Number Portability Administration, or LMPA contract that is held by iConnective. And I share the co-chair role with my partner Deb Tucker with Verizon Wireless. In regards to statements of work, the NAPM LLC approved SOW 39, which introduced a new field for inter-service provider ports, which indicates that either the final concurrence timer expired or the old service provider has concurred with the port. And SOW 34, which extends the term for the master services agreement for the LMPA for an additional 6 years. In regards to MPAC releases, Release 5.2 went into production on February 4th and included functionality for validating when a portable MPA NXX has passed its effective date under Change Order 561, and also checking for port records when deleting a service provider under Change Order 562, as well as other operational and usability enhancements. Since the last NANC meeting, the Contract Implementation Committee has approved one new findings report for a PTRS user, and the annual continued qualification process is now underway for 2024. And then finally, the NAPM LLC is always open to new members, and additional information can be found on our website, napmllc.org, or by contacting myself or my co-chair, Deb Tucker. And we do set aside a little bit of time at the beginning of each of our monthly meetings for anyone that wants to attend. It's considered the open portion, and those dates can be found on our website. Any questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Teresa. Next, we'll hear an update from Brent Struthers, Director of the Secure Telephone Identity Governance Authority. Brent, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chairwoman Charles. I am the Director of the STIGA. If you could go to the first slide, please. I will define what's the Shaken framework, and unfortunately, although we have a great acronym that we're implementing called STIR Shaken, we do not have a fun acronym like TFON. We are the STIGA, and the Shaken framework is made up of the STIGA, which does the governance, of the STIPA, which implements the policy, and we sign up these things called STICA. So we are truly a boring acronym organization, but the framework's been set up. We've been running for about 5 years now. We've currently got 1,287 service providers and RESPORGs authorized to take part in the Shaken framework as of last week. We did have some providers, if you've tracked the numbers at all, you may have seen that that's about the same as we had, late last year, because we had a number of providers removed for non-payment. So if you are a provider and you sign up and you decide you don't want to pay, well, give us 90 days and we'll send you a little notice that says you have 30 days to pay or you will have your certificate revoked and you'll be taken off the PA website, and that's the 90-day limit that we give you to not pay. Then you'll have that token revoked and those certificates that you have will become invalid and you won't be able to sign calls anymore until you pay. So we do have about 15 providers removed from our list of authorized service providers, so that hasn't changed a whole lot in the past few months. We currently have 13 authorized CAs. CAs, of course, are the ones that assign certificates to these service providers. 11 of them are public, and so we tried to create a competitive atmosphere there, so you could go to a lot of CAs if you're a service provider and get your certificate to sign calls. So we have 11. We have 2 in process, which means we might have 13 public by the end of the year and 2 that are private that serve only their own company. So if you can go to the next slide, please. There we go. Thank you. GA policy and guidance. We're always updating our policies to make sure they're current, that we don't have mistakes in them, that we just want to do some cleanup. So we put out our first minor version of what's called the certification policy, or the certificate policy, version 1.4.1 in December. That essentially did some cleanup. When it's a minor version, it means we're making changes to the certificate policy that doesn't change the way in which those certification authorities assign certificates, doesn't change the way in which they treat the certificates. So it's a minor version. We're really just doing cleanup. So we put a minor version out in December, and we've got another minor version in the works now, 1.4.2. Anytime we put out a major version, though, we have these things called certification practice statements that have to be reviewed. All those CAs that I talked about have rules of the road that they have to follow in assigning certificates, and they have documents called CPSs that they have to write that define, here's how we assign this stuff, here's how we protect the certificates. Every time we put out a major version update of the CP, they have to revise those, which means that somebody has to review those and make sure they're in accordance with the current rules. And so we've got a new process this year. We have always reviewed the CPSs, but now we're also looking at the certificates that those CAs are assigning to service providers to make sure those certificates they're assigning are also in compliance with ATA standards, with STIGA policies as well. And so we've started looking at those certificates and finding little errors here and there in certificates and telling the CAs, hey, you need to do some stuff here to fix the certificate so it really meets the standards. That compliance tool is actually something that we've used quite a bit. I've become fairly proficient at the little thing. It's a pretty easy tool if I'm using it, obviously. You just put the certificate in, hit run, and it shows you the problems that it has. We're going to make that public, too, in the very near future to all the CAs and probably to all the service providers as well. So if you want to throw your own certificates in there, test them to make sure they're in compliance, you can. And if you want to give us feedback on the tools we've developed, we're happy to have that feedback. So that'll be happening probably in the next month or 2. We'll make that public. Policy compliance. Well, the GA has to ensure that service providers are complying and CAs are complying with our policies. So we do the CAs through the CPS reviews. Service providers, we have a complaint form on our STIGA website, and we allow people to file complaints against service providers, and we have a kind of a hearing process that we go through to evaluate those complaints. We currently have a number of complaints that have been filed against service providers, largely by attorneys general, and so the board is in the process of reviewing those. All those complaints involve providers that are alleged to have misused their certificates, i.e. by giving A-level attestation to calls that are probably illegally spoofed. But we're still looking at that. We're reviewing all those. We haven't really taken any action on any of those providers yet. But when we do, I think that'll be made public. So the GA is actively looking at enforcing, not enforcing, but ensuring that providers are meeting our policies. And if they're not meeting our policies, we'll work to help those providers fix what they're doing, and or if they won't do that, we will take away the tokens just like we do for the non-payers. So I say we, but I really mean the STIGA board, which is 2 of my members here. So I disavow myself from that whole process. The PA system changes late last year. We implemented change order 5, which did a couple of things. I've talked about this in the last couple of NANC meetings, so I won't go into it too much. We changed the maximum SBC token lifetime to 2 weeks. We changed the way the certificate revocation list treated expired certificates on it. We required the PAU to use a different root certificate in staging versus production. The big change for the token lifetime of 2 weeks, that does not mean if you're a service provider that your certificate has a maximum lifetime of 2 weeks, just your token. Your token is the thing you take to, you get this token from the PA, you take it to the CAs, get your certificate from the CAs. Your certificate is what you use to sign calls. Those are still good for a maximum of I think, 2 years. So you can have a certificate you're using to sign calls. You don't have to go back and get a new token every 2 weeks. You only need a new token when you need a new certificate. So if your token's expired, that's not a big deal until you need a new certificate. Then you go back to the PA, say, hey, I'm looking to get a new certificate. I need a new token. You get re-upped, and then you go get your new certificate. So your certificate, still good for max of 2 years, but your token will probably have expired if it's beyond 2 weeks. The GA framework funding, we redid the funding last year. The maximum payment is still $100,000. The minimum is still $500. We have a contribution factor for people that fall in between those two. Those invoices went out on time in December, and we're all due February 1. So I don't have, because I haven't reported to my own board, the actual funding figures, but it looks like we'll be fully funded for 2024 again. Again, if you do fail to pay, we will give you 90 days. After 90 days, you'll get a 30-day notice to pay, and if you don't pay, you will be removed from the STIPA website, and your token will be revoked. GA outreach, got a couple things on there. We have revamped our STIGA website. It's all pretty now. That logo has been completely changed, so we're very excited about it. Hopefully things are a little easier to find. I did get emails fairly often saying documents were difficult to find there. So if you have issues finding documents, let me know. We'll revamp the website again, or I'll just point you to the document. We also have the year-end 2023 STIGA report. That report kind of reviews what a lot of the major issues the STIGA has dealt with over the past year, and well, that's about it. It's very exciting. It's a page turner. It's as fun as T-Fun. And with that, I am done, and I will turn you over to back to the Chairwoman Charles, and then to the funnest group within Nancy, I guess, unless there's questions.
Thank you, Brent. Are there any questions or comments for Brent?
I don't see anything in the room, and I don't see anything online.
Perfect. Again, thank you, Brent. Next, Chris Cantor, the co-chair of the Toll-Free Future Utilization of Numbers, or TFUN, working group, is unable to be with us today due to a family emergency. We wish him well. We'd like to welcome Allison Blevins, also the co-chair of the TFUN working group, who will present the group's report and recommendations regarding 833 toll-free numbers for vote by the NANC members. Allison, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chairwoman. And again, this is Allison Blevins with Cinch. I am the co-chair along with Chris Cantor from Verizon. And I'd also like to acknowledge and thank our FCC liaisons, Michelle Slater and John Vislowski, for their assistance during this time with all the work that we have done so far and with the work we will continue to do with the next part of the report. So again, this is the report of the TFUN, the Toll-Free Future Utilization of Numbers Working Group. I agree, we have the best acronym. We may not have a fancy logo. Maybe we'll need to work on that, but we might have the best name, right? So for our report today, our objective was to review the 833 auction conclusions of the TFAM working group from its June 15th, 2020 report and the Wireline Competition Bureau's January 15th, 2021 auction report in light of future numbering auctions. We consider and recommend potential assignment methods, including whether or not a first-come, first-served method of number distribution would be preferable to a numbering auction for the remaining 833 numbers. Some of the perspectives on the December 2019 auction by the TFAM report reviewed the history of the NANC toll-free number assignment working groups. More than 90% of the 2019 auction-related numbers had no bids. Lack of demand for those 833 numbers was noted. The auction was equitable. The auction was a useful utility for winning bidders, but not useful considering the broader stakeholders. We reviewed the TFAM recommendations to improve auctions. Some of the research and considerations that were made by the team were evaluated 6 number assignment methodologies, including the auction method. estimated and evaluated relative level of effort for each of those methodologies as well. The TFAM's recommendation is to open assignment using first come, first serve method of number distribution with no reservation restrictions. We do list an alternate method, which would be first come, first serve method of number distribution with reservation limit of 100 numbers per affiliate for a 4-hour event. Any questions?
I don't see any.
Yes.
Oh,
I
we have
I
one
raised my
online?
hand. I tried raising my hand.
Yeah,
I-
go ahead. Go ahead.
This is Jeff Lanning with Brightspeed. I read this. I think it all makes sense. I believe like 1,409 numbers did receive a bid, but could not be awarded because they only received one bid. Is that right?
I'm going to
Well,
defer
I don't-
to
I think
Joel. He has some numbers that I do not have in front of me.
Right, Joel Bernstein with Somos, the toll-free number administrator. No, that meant that they only received one bid. They didn't have to pay anything. They still got the number,
Right.
but under that weird victory system we used, the second highest bid was the price, but the first highest bid was the winner. So with one, no bid, you get it for free.
Okay, that was what my question was whether they got it or not.
They did.
Okay, and then I'm good.
Okay, are there any other questions? I don't see any online, and I don't see any in the room. So back to you, Chairwoman Charles.
Okay, do any members have any further questions and recommendations for the T-Fund report? Hearing none, if the discussion is complete, I will now open the meeting for a vote to approve this report and recommendations. Would anyone like to make a motion to approve?
Lumen will make that motion.
Great, thank you. And who from Lumen? Is that Phil Lindsay?
Phil Lindsay with Lumen. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Phil. Great. Is there a second, please?
Ad hoc.
Okay, one at a time. Who's making the second?
Bridget White at Highline.
Thank you, Bridget White
You're
of
welcome.
Highline. And with that second, we'll submit it to the council for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Aye. Any nays? Then Nancy approves this report of the T-Fund Working Group. Thank you to the working group and members for your work on this issue. We will now move on to the public participation portion of the meeting. Do we have any comments from the members of the public in the room?
Anyone in the room who's not a member who'd like to make a comment? No, we have no one in the room. Thank you.
Oh, okay. We also enable public participation through comments filed in the docket and through a dedicated email address, livequestions@fcc.gov. First, we'll turn to the comments filed.
And the first quarter is now 2 months over. And
Could the members, could the members please
1/6 of the
mute
year is over.
your mics?
So I hope we all feel like we've achieved 1/6 of our objectives, but that's what I always challenge myself.
There, sir, can you mute yourself? Thank you. First, we'll turn to the comments filed in the docket. A public notice for this meeting released on January 17th, 2024 asked members of the public to file any comments in the Commission's electronic comment filing system in WC docket number 23-1. Do we have any comments from members of the public, Christy?
We do not.
Are there any public comments or questions received through the livequestions.gov email address, Christy?
No, we don't have any of those either. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. That completes our agenda for today. Our next meeting will be on June 25th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in this room and also online for members who cannot be here today. Finally, do any NANC members have other business they wish to address?
I don't see any hands up online. Anything in the room? Nope, we have nothing in the room either.
Okay, great. Christy, anything from the commission you'd like to add?
Yes, I have a couple of quick announcements. One is I'd like to thank everyone who has participated in the meeting today, either here in the room or online. I'd also like to thank all of the staff who made this meeting possible today, including the CMR staff who helps us with the room setup and all of the AV. They make this work for us every time, so we really appreciate that. We'd like to thank the T-Fun Working Group for putting the fun in toll-free. And then finally, as you already heard, our next meeting is June 25th. It will be hybrid again in this room and online for members who can't be here with us. At the June 25th meeting, all 4 working groups will have reports for vote by the council, so that will be a very busy agenda for us. Our December meeting has not yet been published in the Federal Register, but it will be on December 12th, so please mark your calendars for that, and we'll let you know when we have more details about that meeting. That's it for today from us. Thank you, Chairwoman Charles.
Thank you, Christy. Vice Chairwoman Alexander White, anything you'd like to add to the meeting this morning?
No, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Vice Chairwoman. If there is nothing else, I thank you all for your time. This meeting is now adjourned. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful weekend and happy March 1st.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.